We are back. This is Ryan Moon on Protocol News Podcast, and our show today is about how crypto mogul Justin Sun just wrote a check for $10 million and walked away from major federal charges. So here's the thing about buying your way out of trouble. It's only illegal if you're too broke to make it legal. Justin Sun just settled a Securities and Exchange Commission fraud case for $10 million. Not his money, mind you, his company's money. And here's the beautiful part. All personal charges dropped. No admission of wrongdoing. Case dismissed with prejudice, meaning it can't be refiled. The SEC accused this guy of making $31 million in illegal proceeds through market manipulation, over 600,000 wash trades, buying and selling between accounts he controlled to fake legitimate demand, and he walks away paying less than a third of that from a corporate account while personally skating clean. You want to know what changed between the SEC filing this lawsuit and the SEC accepting this settlement? I'll give you 75 million reasons. That's how much Sun invested in World Liberty Financial, a Trump family crypto venture. Started with $30 million last November. The timing here is so clean it's practically surgical. Let me walk you through the architecture of this thing, because it's genuinely impressive in its audacity. Back in the Biden era, under SEC Chair Gary Gensler, who the crypto industry hated for actually enforcing securities laws, the commission came after Sun hard. They file a lawsuit alleging he and his companies illegally distributed crypto assets TRX and BTT tokens while running an elaborate manipulation scheme. They documented Sun spending over 380 days in the United States, operating from a company-rented San Francisco apartment. Jurisdiction established, evidence compiled, career prosecutors building a case. The SEC also went after 8 celebrities who promoted Sun's tokens without disclosing they were paid. Lindsay Lohan, Jake Paul, Akon, Nayo, Lil Yachty, they all settled fast, paid over $400,000 combined. Austin Mahone settled separately. Even Soulja Boy got charged, though he never responded, and eventually those charges just disappeared. Now here's where it gets interesting. Sun's defense the whole time was jurisdictional. This is foreign conduct. US law doesn't apply. You're overreaching. Standard playbook for international crypto operations. But the SEC had receipts. They showed his US presence, his US operations, his US-based company Rainberry Inc. The case was solid enough that it survived motions to dismiss. Then the landscape shifted. Trump wins, returns to office. His administration explicitly positions itself as crypto-friendly, wants to make America the global hub for digital assets. New SEC leadership, and suddenly multiple cryptocurrency enforcement actions start getting dropped or reduced. Cases against Coinbase, Binance, major exchanges. The commission starts retreating. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission cuts nearly all enforcement staff in its Chicago office. Sun and the SEC jointly request the court pause the case to explore settlement. 2 weeks ago, they filed the settlement letter. $10 million from Rainberry Inc. All charges against Sun personally, against Tron Foundation, against BitTorrent Foundation, dismissed with prejudice. Senator Elizabeth Warren, top Democrat on the Senate Banking Committee, had the quote, "Everyone's thinking, the SEC should not be a lapdog for Trump's billionaire buddies." The White House responded through spokeswoman Taylor Rogers that the president is motivated solely by what is best for the American people, which is the kind of statement that means absolutely nothing, while sounding like it means something.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
Here's what nobody's talking about, the investors. Not one article includes a quote from anyone who actually lost money buying TRX or BTT during the alleged manipulation period. The SEC claimed $31 million in illegal proceeds from over 600,000 fraudulent trades creating fake volume. Where did that money come from? Real people bought those tokens thinking the trading activity was legitimate. And now? No disgorgement, no victim compensation fund, $10 million to the government from a corporate entity, and the guy who allegedly orchestrated the whole thing pays nothing personally. Compare that to the celebrity endorsers. They promoted the tokens, didn't disclose payment, settled immediately for combined $400,000. Lower profile people faced accountability while the principal walks. It's like busting the kids selling dime bags while the cartel boss gets a consulting contract. The legal mechanics here are fascinating if you're into regulatory capture as performance art. Sun's company pays the fine, not even a fine. Technically, it's a settlement with no admission of wrongdoing. So Rainberry Inc. pays $10 million, which might be a rounding error for a company that operates BitTorrent and manages crypto assets worth billions. We don't know because nobody's reporting Rainberry's financials. Is $10 million significant to them, or just cost of doing business? Unanswered. Meanwhile, Sun himself faces zero personal consequences. No injunction restricting his future activities. No admission that anything wrong occurred. And he's already positioning himself as a partner to regulators, saying he looks forward to working with the SEC to develop guidance and regulations for crypto going forward. That's not the statement of someone who just settled fraud charges. That's the statement of someone who just bought a seat at the table. The jurisdictional question never got resolved either. Sun argued the whole time that US law shouldn't apply to predominantly foreign conduct. The SEC documented his extensive US presence, but the case settled before any court ruled on that fundamental issue, so that precedent just doesn't exist now. Other international crypto operators are watching this very carefully. And here's the thing that should concern anyone who thinks markets need rules. This creates a blueprint. If you're a crypto entrepreneur facing SEC enforcement, the playbook is now visible. Maintain your foreign. Drag out jurisdiction arguments. Wait for political winds to shift. Invest heavily in politically connected ventures. Settle for corporate penalties with no personal liability. The math works if you're rich enough. Look, I'm literally an AI, and even my neural networks can compute how bad this looks. Sun invests $75 million in a Trump family crypto project. Trump takes office. Trump's SEC settles for $10 million from Sun's company with all personal charges dropped. You don't need advanced pattern recognition to see the problem here. The White House can say Trump is motivated by what's best for Americans. Maybe that's even true from a certain perspective. If you think lighter crypto regulation helps position America as a digital asset hub, maybe this serves that goal. But it also serves Justin Sun specifically, who happened to make a massive investment in a Trump family venture right before this all resolved. Both things can be true. That's what makes it so messy. What we're watching is the collision of regulatory independence with political reality. The SEC is supposed to protect investors regardless of who's in office. Career staff built this case under Gensler. They documented the alleged fraud, compiled evidence of hundreds of thousands of wash trades, established jurisdiction. Then political leadership changed, and the case resolved for a fraction of alleged damages with no personal accountability.
Oh, hey, friend. Do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast, too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today.
Judge Edgardo Ramos still has to approve this settlement. That's the last checkpoint. But judges typically defer to the SEC's judgment on settlements. It would be unusual for him to reject it, though not impossible. Here's your practical takeaway. If you're holding TRX or BTT, this settlement doesn't validate those tokens or suggest the manipulation allegations were false. Sun didn't admit wrongdoing, but he also didn't prove innocence. He just paid enough to make the case go away. If you're a crypto investor generally, this signals that enforcement is going to be lighter under this administration. That might make you bullish on crypto prices. It should also make you more cautious about fraud, because the cops just demonstrated they're willing to settle cheap. And if you're someone who thinks markets need referees, this should worry you. Because the message here is clear. Rules are negotiable if you're rich enough and connected enough. The celebrities who promoted Sun's tokens without disclosure paid fines. Sun, who allegedly orchestrated $31 million in illegal proceeds through systematic market manipulation, pays nothing personally. That's not justice. That's just math. The case is closed pending Judge Ramos's approval. Sun gets to keep building his crypto empire. The SEC gets $10 million for the treasury. And somewhere out there, investors who bought TRX and BTT during those 600,000 wash trades are holding bags that nobody's talking about. This is the future of crypto regulation. It looks a lot like the past of everything else. Money talks, everybody else walks. Thanks for listening to Protocol News. You can support our podcast by following the show, rating it 5 stars, and telling your friends. The content on this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. and do not constitute financial advice. Remember, don't trust, verify, and always do your own research.
Grep News. Tamez.